Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. It's been a minute. I was sick. Dying, actually. Well, feeling like I'm dying. Still a little sick, but that's okay. I'm here to do another, this is more of like the episode that's going to be about primarily iPhone users that want to switch to GrapheneOS. How you should do it, why you should do it, have you been considered doing it? Is there a way that you can essentially escape the walled garden? Now, the first question you have to essentially ask yourself is why you want to do it. And if you already have an answer, then it's relatively easy to switch over. And this is coming from mainly a majority of an Android user. I did have an iPhone at one point. I did not like it at all, and I had some issues with I like how Apple treats their I guess their consumers in a sense. They're very also restrictive. Like, you have to have an Apple account to download apps. You can't sideload. You can't just all these extra steps to suck you into the walled garden, and I'm just really not a fan of it. And just from my personal experience, I see a lot of iPhone users, they still use Gmail. It's kind of crazy. They don't use nearly as much of Apple's ecosystem as maybe the average. Average user just gets it because all their friends have it. And iMessage is such a cancerous thing that has pushed people to literally shill out hundreds, if not about $1,000 for a phone just for the color of their fucking text. That's pretty retarded. And I see it. People get bullied into using Apple products because it's easier it's all about, this is like, I guess, like my major problem with Apple. It's all about, you have to conform to me. You have to get an iPhone because it's easier for me, not using better open source, in my opinion, maybe more secure messaging apps that definitely exist that are free on the market. And I'm going to run through a list of really good alternative apps to replace your iPhone apps. Most of them will come over and work on Android pretty easy. Now, if you don't know why, and you essentially need some convincing, then this is where I lay out the convincing part. And I guess like highlight why GrapheneOS might be the only, in my opinion, the only and the best option coming from Apple to Android. The first thing about iPhones that I do like, and relatively one of the only few things that I do like in general, is it's super no bloat, no pre-installed 500 apps, no Samsung this. Like, Samsung has this annoying thing where they give all these curated apps. No carrier apps are installed. I think that's due to their like license agreement. You can't have like, they don't have pre-installed like XY, insert carrier app over here. It's a pretty clean, bloatless, with heavy quotes, experience for most people. It just works. And I think that's what people like. The need, I guess, for that is, understandable. I don't like bloat. That's why I was drawn to GrapheneOS in general, actually. Not even the other parts of it really even entertained to me. I was like, wow, it's very bloatless. There's like, it removes all the, you don't have to have the Google Play services installed. You don't have to have Google at all. You can just run it as is, very normal. Use it as a dumb phone. If people are asking like, what do I use as a dumb phone? Just get a Pixel A series and don't install anything. And then you have the benefits of a more secure phone, and then just use Signal. But that's my, I don't know, like, so I can see if you want a very bloatless experience, I mean, GrapheneOS is there. That's the first transition. Like, you're like, well, what about the hardware? What about the feel? Like, older Pixel devices, definitely not the best feeling. Like, it's, and this may matter or not. I do like I have a Pixel 9 XL Pro, because they only delivered this in the highest storage, the storage that I needed for long-term use. And it's a very nice feeling. They definitely modeled it after like an iPhone, which is, it's whatever, it's an industry standard just to fucking copy each other all the time. But it's definitely a much nicer feel than the 6. I like the 6 actually. It's designed better. I mean, that's just more of an aesthetic thing. But personally, if you put it in your hands, it feels really nice. Like, it feels like an iPhone. People even mistaken my phone all the time. I was like, oh, is that an iPhone? I'm like, no, I would never. That would be lame. But there's a high chance that some people might be turned off from a less premium feeling. I mean, if that's what you want, it's there. If you need a smaller size, the A series is there. I know some people want a smaller phone. Like, they miss the iPhone mini, or like they just like smaller packaged phones. So I get it. Ignore my coughing, my bad. But in general, I think if you want the bloatless experience and you want a more premium feeling, that's where it's going to be. I mean, that's just the start. Now, what you could do is go purchase a Pixel series. I would preferably say 8 and above, just to get your value. 8A personally, to get your value up. To get your value up, and make sure that you're not like buying something and then like it's gonna lose like its updates and stuff. That's just my opinion. 8A and up, it'll be worth it. I mean, you could do a 7A or because the A series comes later, so it's kind of nice because then you can get a smaller form factor phone with a little bit longer updates. Now, I asked a poll, what do people like value the most? And I mean, small poll on my YouTube channel. It's mainly privacy and security. Now, privacy and security is very complex. It's a scale. It's going to be different for everyone. On one hand, there is quote-unquote evidence that Apple gives really good privacy because advertisers have said they've lost revenue through iPhone users. That doesn't mean they're not collecting data. That doesn't mean they're not going to harvest it and use it or sell it at some point. And you have to trust them. They're not open source. I mean, I'm generally super against proprietary software on a host of levels for many reasons. And the biggest issue with me is Apple, again, has a massive amount of control. Now, their security is good. It's as good as probably... It's better than stock Android. A lot of stock Android vendors. It's probably far much better than most cheap Android in general, vendors in general. I'll give them that. Because they only have one model to worry about, and they only have to care about their software. Everything's like curated to their in-house. Now, on the contrary, Pixels, they pick really good hardware security. They make sure that the bootloader is relocked. They pick good software security update. Graphene has a really good software update streamline. I'm getting all my updates on time in a timely matter. Because I have a Pixel, they actually get all the updates and they get Android first. That's huge. To someone that if security is another pinpoint that you're worried about, you can just shift straight to the Pixel series. The 8 and above gets 7 years of updates, which is awesome. So you can hang on to your phone for longer, not contribute to bullshit e-waste, and you can make sure that your phone is getting all its updates in a timely manner. There's going to be some things that I'm going to mention that Apple just introduced, and also Apple introduced, but also lacked. That's a huge privacy boost, in my opinion. Not that we did it first and haha. It's just now, if you're on the new iOS update, you're like, wow, this is great. It's on GrapheneOS. It's better. It's existed since I've had it. It's awesome. Well, maybe a little afterwards. But I'm going to first go into some apps that I think that I try to find, like, what are the top apps for iPhone users, and it's like anything that you can pretty much use. Anything you can use literally in pretty much any app ecosystem. It's not like, oh, this is just for iPhone. Like ChatGPT is number one for some whatever reason, and I mean, go figure. But I know iPhone users have mail, like their mail. They have a mail client. On Android, I use Thunderbird. It used to be K9 Mail. Now it's Thunderbird. Thunderbird's great. It's free. It's open source. Mozilla has starting to have a pretty shitty track record right now. But there's that, and there's Proton Mail, and TuneNoda. All good options. Now Thunderbird's an email client. It's not a mail provider, but if you're looking for an email client, that is going to be kind of like your go-to. If you want, like, that's how I organize my emails. Unfortunately, because I have a Gmail, that's what I use. I don't want the native Gmail app. I don't even like using it. I just have to have it to maintain my YouTube channel. But if you want a free and open source, much better email experience, Thunderbird's great. I got the beta and I tested it out and I like it. It's very clean. Was K9 Mail. Now they switched up. I think you can still use K9 Mail, though. Now, if you want it just straight email, Proton Mail, you have that option. You have TuneNoda, it's Tuta now. Damn. It's awesome. For backups, GrapheneOS has Seed Vault. It is awful. I hate it, and they know this, and they're looking for an alternative. But it does exist. I don't like it. I just use Image on my own self-hosted server. If you go to Proton, obviously, this isn't a sponsor or anything, but if you want an all-in-one solution, which I think a lot of iPhone users are so used to, and it's, yes, you have to pay for it. It's whatever. I mean, you have to pay for storage with Apple anyways. It's like, for $10, you get 500 gigs of storage, one user, 15 emails, support for 3 customs. You get their calendar, their VPN, their drive, their pass, whatever. All in one app. Yes, you're banking on that Proton Mail doesn't turn to an evil company, but it does exist, and it's an option. The next part, I think, like, the calendar. The calendar. I just use Fossify Calendar or Proton Calendar. I don't really like the Proton Calendar for my own personal reasons. There's some problems with the encryption, I believe, and I just self-host my own end-to-end encrypted calendar at a sync. At a base, but at a base is the backend, and then at a sync. FaceTime. Just use Signal. Signal has FaceTime built into it. This is like my... I'm going to shill Signal until I do backflip. SimpleX is there for messaging too. I've used the call feature. It's not always the most reliable, personally. But Find My iPhone. I know a lot of people are stuck on the location thing. They're like, oh, I want to see where all my friends are and stuff like that. That is kind of insane to me to always be tractable. But in my opinion, I think there is an open... I believe Android has... I think there's an open source version for Android, Find My Device, that's in the works. Oh, and then there's locate Locate My Device. Locate My Device is send an SMS to a device you want to locate in order to retrieve information about it. It's kind of awesome. Then there's Find My Device, I believe. I don't think Locate My Device is being used anymore. I think it's Find My Device now. Yeah, it's like Find My Device. And it's gonna. I know that Android's working on their Bluetooth network, but yeah, there's something called Find My Device, locate and control your device remotely. Which, by the way, you ever lose your phone? Fucking do it, get it. Face ID. The Pixel 9 Pro it does offer Face ID. By the way, if you're that worried. The biometrics fingerprint sensor is now optical or something. It's way more efficient and more better. It's crazy, and I think this is the thing is most people just use a mobile phone isn't like it's crazy. All it is today is kind of just a giant web browser. If you pay X amount of money to Apple and all you're using is for TikTok, group messages, and fucking iTunes, that's insane. To me, that's insane. That's really crazy. If it works for you, I mean, more power to you. But I think open source is a way for yourself to free yourself from digital slavery. Because that's what I look at proprietary software and closed source software and these walled gardens, essentially digital slavery. Like, you are now enslaved into it over a bunch of fucking colored text, which is insane to me. You should even be sending SMS right now. The feds are pretty much like warning people that you should literally be using like Signal or Threema or Simple X or at least Apple's message-to-message, WhatsApp even, which is insane to even say. Another cool thing about it is I understand the camera. You can just install the Blackmagic camera, but the GrapheneOS, most of the camera on the Pixel is fucking great. It's functional. It's all the same. Nothing changes. I think the developers went through it. Like, people were saying, like, oh, it's lesser quality. It's not. It's the same camera. It's literally it's just all the bloatware that it's fucking removed from it. The location data access indicator, it's got that thing that Apple does as well. But the most best part is you get contact scope, which allows you to control the contacts. Storage scope, which allows you to control which part of your phone that these apps have access to. So, like, say you have Instagram and you're like, I don't want it to have access to all my photos. Storage scope. Say you have contacts, so you don't want all your contacts being shared with everyone. You have contact scope. You can only share these contacts with this app. That's a huge feature. This is why when people are like, well, when I go on Facebook, how does it know that I met this person one time? Well, did you trade contacts? Did you get full access? Where's your problem? It's it's awesome. It has auto reboot as well, which Apple just introduced. It's a 4-day policy, which kind of sucks. You can boil it down, I think, to 12 hours or 30. It's like an insane amount. It's like really, really small. Between 10 minutes and 72 hours, or turn it off. Yeah, the timer is set to 18 hours by default. That's great. This feature doesn't apply when the device is in before unlock state mode, meaning that it will not lead to the device continuously rebooting as data is already at rest. It's an awesome way to protect from a security standpoint. It's got a Durus pen. The Durus pen, when it will irreversibly wipe the device when you and use it. A more secure fingerprint unlock. The user profile is probably my favorite. And now we have Spaces. Spaces is fucking great. So I've been experimenting with it. This is life-changing. So instead of you creating a whole nother user profile, you just create a space. It's unlocked. It's encrypted. It's separate. It shuts the apps down in the background. It's really, 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 really cool. All my banking apps work with a disclaimer. There are some certain banking apps that you need to disable some stuff for it to work properly. But if anyone has any questions, just hit me up in the YouTube comments. I'll always answer them. I mean, it's essentially a no-brainer, and I do truly believe that people migrating, even if it's one person, in my opinion, migrating from Apple over to GrapheneOS, over to Android, and then over to GrapheneOS. GrapheneOS is not a ROM. It's just an alternative Android experience. It essentially allows you to break free from the digital enslavement that you experience when you get an iPhone. It's cool if you wake up and you're like, you know what? I like Apple. I like the products. I like what they offer to me, and I utilize it to the fullest extent. I like that everything syncs. I like that I can go from my MacBook to my iPad to my tablet or whatever, and it all feels the same. That's great. Awesome. Whatever works for you. But if you're like, you know what? I've wanted to leave, but how do I? That's the great part. GrapheneOS is super easy to install. You're going to get the same feeling of that. You're going to get the same feeling that Apple has been giving you, but with way more control and less restrictions. Like, there's apps that don't need internet access. You can turn it off. I found a really cool app called Inter-Profile Sharing, where I can now share certain stuff with other profiles with an app. It's great. They also strip out a lot of the background tracking, a lot of the carrier apps that do callbacks. I mean, GrapheneOS does an amazing job at stripping unnecessary bloatware from a privacy perspective and a harm reduction in terms of security perspective. That is a huge thing on those things alone should just draw you to it. And then if you're even remotely curious about, well, what about syncing? Like what do I do about syncing all my stuff? Syncing's great. It's free, it's open source, it's easy to use, it's local. You send all your stuff between your computer, your phone, your tablet, whatever. Syncing's great. That's what I use. Most of this can be set up literally within a day, a few hours. You grab GrapheneOS, you transfer all your stuff over, you install GrapheneOS, and then you port over the stuff that you want, and then you set up your profiles on how you want hey, this one has Google Play service, this one doesn't. Hey, this one is my work profile, this one's my play profile, this one's my gaming profile. All those things allow you to separate and essentially free yourself from, it's all got to be on one app, and now it's God knows what they're collecting all times. That's all it is. Privacy and security is good about compartmentalizing as much of your life as possible, and then not installing every app and reducing the need and the dependency on proprietary, especially subscription-based apps that are egregious. The good thing. It's not about just free as in price. It's about free as in freedom. I can leave this app ecosystem. They give me the ability to leave, and they make it easy. I have an open source 2FA app that I use that allows me to back up, and then if I want to export all my 2FA codes to another one, they allow it. Super cool. And the even more cool part is that you also get the freshness of, wow, I actually don't care about iTunes or need all that, like need this, and this, just to give all this information just to download an app. It's crazy. And the argument against Apple's sideloading is just a bunch of bullshit. For security, okay. Malicious apps have gotten into the Play Store. Nothing prevents me from pushing something into an app store and then it being malicious. It happens. It happens quite often. But when it's proprietary and it's closed source, then it's like, okay, how can we trust that? Yeah, well, you have to trust Apple now. I'm not saying go out and be a developer and learn how to code or anything, but and like that open source is the ultimate security solution, because it's not. Stuff gets hidden in source code all the time, and that has millions of eyes on it, and it slips through the cracks. I mean, like literally all the time, and it's we're human. We make mistakes, we miss stuff, and it's in our nature. But I think what I'm more I guess not like annoyed, but I'm genuinely I have a problem with is that I think people buy into this Apple consumerism, that it's easier to use, that it's more secure, and the colored I just don't get it. I truly don't. And maybe this is like me just shouting into the clouds kind of thing, but it would make me less angry, I guess, if I didn't actively, this is more anecdotal, and like maybe I just need to touch more grass. Anecdotally, like I see people genuinely be like, oh, you have an Android? Ew. Like, what? They do the same thing. I mean, they essentially do the same thing. I just think one gives me more freedom. That's all it is. And it does. I mean, that's just a fact. Does that equal better outcomes always? No. But I think that I should have that choice. And as long as I have that choice, it shouldn't matter. I mean, we really don't have a lot of choice in the phone space. We have Apple, and then we have Android, and then we have, I think there's some flip phones that use some weird app, weird thing, but literally everything that iPhones do can be done on a Pixel with GrapheneOS. That's just the reality of it. Like, don't be afraid of change. We used to be so curious of people that were just like, hey, let's try it out. Hey, let's try this out. Let me test this. I know it's getting kind of expensive now. Like with the phones are like insanely same price. But just buy a used or like buy a old like 7A and like spend the $400 instead of upgrading to a new iPhone. The worst thing that can happen is you really don't like it and just return it or sell it and then go back to Apple. I mean, all it is just down to your time. I genuinely hope someone listens to this and they're like, you know what? I'm going to go out and try GrapheneOS. I'm going to, because I think it's the most reasonable way to get somebody from such a bloatless operating system experience that there's no other option. There's no other option that like I could even besides stock Android. I mean, all the other Android devices are either like super bloated or the security is just not good, and they're like super behind their patching. Like, I think that's where a lot of the bad experience comes from, because there's so many Android vendors that people just come over and they're like, oh, this is really bad. and it's kind of bloated and it's slow. It's because they have like 40 pre-installed apps just sucking up that RAM. But like, oh, the battery life too, by the way, on GrapheneOS is fucking great. I mean, well, Android and my Pixel 9 has an amazing battery life. That might, I mean, those things. I'm just trying to think of like other things that people like care about. Like it's more or less like what does, ask yourself, what does Apple offer me that I can't get from GrapheneOS? I'll leave a link to GrapheneOS's website and some resources and free and open source apps in the show notes, because I think that if people could, maybe do their own research and read and think about it, it's not even like I understand like the group message thing is it's so cringe for that to be even a discussion, to be completely honest. I mean Signal has group messages, and it's agnostic to the fucking operating system. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I know they dropped SMS and people are butthurt about it, but whatever. SMS is insecure. It's awful, and it shouldn't be used, and it sucks. It's just start there too. Like be like, hey, I only talk to people with Signal. They get priority first, and then somebody will download it, and they're like, wow, this is great. There's stickers. Oh, and it's end-to-end encrypted. Oh, and it's private. It's more private. Whether people want to fucking call Signal a fucking honeypot or whatever. I just think it's better to like, oh, it does FaceTime too. Yeah. Like, I had a friend who was like she was like, FaceTime, I love it. And I was like, how about this? And we can change the background to a picture and it'll look really cool. Stuff like that, like, is going to push people over. But that's how I've always convinced people, like, slowly over time, is, hey, this is like much cooler, and you can send me like funny memes that might be considered illegal one day. Here, and it has disappearing messages, and it has like, I mean, everything you could literally ask for. Now I'm going to get off my Signal soapbox, because I think that it's just it's hard to, like, I guess not really. It's not even hard. It's just like, if you get anything out of this, if you want better security in an Android experience, in a very minimal experience, and you want to keep your phone for a very long time, and you want to slowly shift into a more private and more secure realm, GrapheneOS is like the easiest to start. That's like the easiest place to start. It's easy to install. You almost can't fuck it up. I think it's almost like, it's rare, super rare it can happen, but it's like very rare. People are afraid to like brick their device. All you have to do is a web browser, web install, clean. That's what I would do. I would just grab a Pixel like 7a or 8a or a 9 or a 9a when it comes out, and just fucking start there. Don't even get rid of your iPhone. Just put it in the corner and just put it in your hand for a couple days. Test it. Oh, all my apps work. Oh, this is great, and it respects my privacy, and it's verified. It's not a gimmick where it's gonna pretend that you're super anonymous and nothing can track you. It's the most reasonable. I treat GrapheneOS like it's the Cube's OS of the phone industry, a reasonably secure, private smartphone that you can expect from, without all these fucking over the top, out of band gimmicks that you see, like the Freedom phone, or like the Brax Me phone, or the unplugged phone, or insert this phone. It's like, it's just so cringe. It's like, and then they talk shit about GrapheneOS for the most insane reasons. And they respond to like their claims. They're like, Oh, okay. Well, you're going to come with receipts for, which I do. We need more of. We need good. We need to stop this security theater that just dupes people into buying just products that aren't going to do anything for them. I mean, it's really a war of us against this corporate surveillance, and obviously, I would prefer any Android vendor something. I would love GrapheneOS to just be put to do their own hardware, their own in-house thing, or whatever. You know what I mean? It'd be perfect. It'd be much better. Or you could just put it on any phone. But they have very explicitly explained why they picked the Google Pixel series. Whether you care about obviously Google's monopolistic tendencies, and they're pretty much anti-privacy because they make money in the space of ads. You essentially have to take it at face value that they have a good security model, and I think they genuinely do, and I think they genuinely care about security to a certain degree. And that's generally what I care about the most, and why I run GrapheneOS. I mean, it's probably going to be the easiest transition of your life. I came from a OnePlus stand. I was a OnePlus stand for a long time. And I transferred to a Pixel 6. I went from the 6 to the 9, and I'll probably, as long as they don't fuck up any time soon and do any shady shit, then I'm pretty solid on that. This is a lifelong journey. Obviously, things can change, or if they ever decide to pick a different phone vendor, they meet their criteria, amazing. I think also they just don't want to support too many phones where they have to divvy up more work, which is fair. I mean, hardware security is very, 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 very complex. That's something that I think a lot of people don't even think about, which is fine. You're not going to think about it. You're not supposed to. It's like, who thinks whoa, is my car's hardware secure? I genuinely think that's an afterthought of a lot of things, and it kind of sucks. But what are you going to do? So my ending advice and quotes, and I'm working on a video on this so that, because some people are very visual and it's completely fine, and it'll maybe be longer, maybe shorter, I don't know. Mainly find the first 5 apps that you use the most that are really your notes. Your notes app. Find an open source alternative. I use LogSec. Kind of works for me. I like it more. And then I have a few other notes apps that I use. Then find another app, and then another, and be like, can I put this in GrapheneOS? Oh, it works. Boom. There's a website I'll link that tells you the compatibility of apps and custom quote unquote ROMs, even though GrapheneOS is not a custom ROM. Do that, and then slowly just shift all your stuff. Like I said, don't throw out your iPhone yet. Shift all your get a Pixel device, install GrapheneOS, and then start shifting apps over, and then start convincing people to use Signal or Session at least Session. Come on, and then maybe Simple X, and then start using 2FA and everything, and then a password manager Bitwarden or whatever, or KeyPass, and then you start realizing, wow, I can really escape the walled garden. I mean, that is the ultimate goal, is to give yourself as much digital freedom as possible and decentralize yourself without the huge reliance on these bigger companies with your data. It's not all about only self-host and be offline and fuck everything, because that's unrealistic. But start with the apps that are the most important, that you can just shift offline and freely exit and freely enter and use. Maybe with no internet access. Maybe with limited. Just a forethought, perspective. I'm going to leave some other useful information on just good OPSEC, good phone security, etc. There's some good hardening, quote unquote hardening guides, mainly from the GrapheneOS page, but there's some other good hardening guides. Obviously no gimmicks as much as possible. And definitely, if you made it this far, I appreciate the listeners. It kind of sucked. I've been a little sicky wicky, but to remind everyone, I have a YouTube channel. I have a PeerTube channel that I self-host on my own hardware that anyone can be free to join. My goal, I'll get to that in a second. I have a Discord channel for the people that you have Discord, and I have a Matrix channel as well. I try to keep it as active as possible, etc. I'm on Blue Sky and Mastodon, and also Noster. If you have questions and want to reach me, my goal is to essentially have at least one person just shift to a more free and open source software. As coming as a non-tech person that has to do a lot of reading and a lot of understanding and taking really complex subjects and break it down. Not that I'm a tutorial guide or anything, but I genuinely like to see people just get the idea in their head. I like to plant the seed and let them grow. I found Linux by accident, and I learned a lot from just listening to other people suggest stuff, talk about stuff, have ideas, and that's what it's really about. It's not about to do YouTube as a living or make money or sell a product or sell ads or sell a subscription or anything. It's genuinely from all the really genuine people and generous people that I've met throughout my history of Linux, using it to learn. I guess just get the ideas running and go wild. It's from a altruistic, the most altruistic thing I can. And the irony is I'm on YouTube and I want people to leave it or just not even be connected online. That's what really the element the Matrix chat's for, is people can pop in, say some things, maybe get some information, and then just exit as they go. Same thing with the Discord and the PeerTube, because that's what the internet's really about, is just I guess not a community or anything in a cringe way, but yeah, it's about people just existing and then non-existing, touching grass, getting out there and being there. I'll leave all the links for the socials in the show notes as well. I'm definitely gonna be posting more on Yellow Ball. Definitely more, maybe some new stuff. I'm kind of trying to flip through back and forth my head what I'm gonna do, but I got some stuff cooking in my brain. Anyways, you all have a good night.